power of sci-fi radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
It is another Thursday night. The gang is all here, present in the studio for Docking Bay 94. Hey, everybody. Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby here with you.
I'm Colleen Crosby.
Whew.
It has.
Pretty good. Let me make sure everybody's got their mics boosted and stuff.
I should probably move mine closer to my face.
That's always a good thing. And boost us up so we can hear each other a little bit. No worries. You could be listening to us on sci-fi.radio. Sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. Conversely, you could be watching us on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube or any of those things. They're all perfectly acceptable. And we're glad however you choose to hang out with us.
Right. Hello to Frequent Falcon Flyer, Laura and Mela. Laura, Jeff is here.
Yeah.
In studio.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's there.
Right here in the middle, but maybe you can't see me. I don't know.
No, we can. I mean, you're there.
We can see you. We can hear you. Everything.
But
it all works.
I can reach over and touch you.
Oh,
wait.
Almost
does it show on the camera?
What doesn't show up?
Oh, wait, yes it does.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
That's funny.
Blue screen
Lori is over on Facebook.
Hey, hi Lori.
And I don't have YouTube open, so Alan is probably over there.
Nobody's on YouTube yet?
No one's on YouTube
At least
yet.
nobody's commented
Kelly's on
YouTube.
Facebook. Hi, Kelly.
We have, Mela and Laura and all sorts of people.
Yeah.
Talon Thorne just piped up.
Yay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Kelly.
Eric Gerds is here.
Woohoo.
Do you have any other announcements, Sean, or should we talk about the week?
Not really. It's been a week. It's been pretty busy stuff. We still have not started Loki yet.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
We caught up on.
We're rewatching the original one.
We are caught up now though and ready to start episode 1.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just haven't done it yet.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's
That's
been
good.
a busy week.
It is a really good one.
Yeah,
this
over
season so far. It's
yeah.
I've only seen I think 2 episodes because they're come out every Thursday or something.
Something. I don't know.
I don't remember when they come out.
Yeah, it's something like that.
So I was in Arizona last week.
Yeah.
I came home on Saturday. Things that I did in Arizona after the last we all spoke was I was telling Jeff that I made banana bread.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why I find this amusing is that I spent the week working at my aunt's kitchen table.
Oh.
And so she was puttering around the kitchen making dinner, and she picked up a bunch of bananas. There were 4.
Yeah.
And she said, "These bananas are all brown," and she threw them in the trash. And I went, don't you like banana bread? And she said, "Well, I'm not making banana bread." And I said, "I could make banana bread. I'm sitting right here. It doesn't take long." So I ended up making banana bread. But it was just so funny because I've never, here, when my bananas get brown, I go, "These bananas are great for a recipe." And I put them in the freezer so that the next time I am ready to cook something, they're ready for me. Mm-hmm. And I was so shocked that it was this long pause while I was like, "But don't you use it to make banana bread?"
Well, and I think that was it. It's they didn't want to make banana bread.
Yes, I know, but that's foreign to me.
Right.
That's because in my world, if there are bananas, you save them for banana bread or banana cake or banana pancakes or something banana-y because they're already wrapped bananas. They come wrapped.
Yeah.
You just put them in the freezer. And
That's true.
So
then they're
here's a
ready to
name I
use.
don't know over on the chat.
Oh.
Okay.
Sticksboy73.
Sticksboy73.
I didn't even see that on here.
Right, which isn't a very Facebooky name.
Is it on?
That's like a Twitch name.
Where are they?
They're in the chat on Facebook.
I don't
On
see that
Facebook.
name.
I also don't see that name, and I have Twitch and Facebook open.
I see Lori, Kelly, and Pat.
Oh,
That's all I see.
sorry, we forgot to say hi to Chris.
Oh, hi, Chris.
Whenever
I
Laura's
didn't?
here, we always got to
Oh.
remember to say hi to Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, and
Oh,
Liz.
What?
Okay, I think
Oh, Liz.
and Pat Larson.
Uh-huh.
Um,
But I don't see the other one.
no, I don't see the
Oh.
person Sean said.
Well, I do.
They
and
must be on
he's-
YouTube.
He's talking about peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
With banana bread?
Yeah, I guess so.
Kelly mentions
Okay, then.
that banana chocolate chip bread
Yeah.
is something one could. Now I want to make more banana bread. Gotta say, this recipe for banana bread, it was pretty darn good.
Good.
It came out very nicely, so I'll have to make another one maybe next week.
Woohoo.
Went out to dim sum, which I was kind of jealous because the place that we went for dim sum, super close to my mom's house.
Yeah.
Like it's on the edge of the farthest distance that they'll usually go.
Oh.
But for my, like being in LA, I'm all, it's practically walking distance. It's so close. And we went on a Friday at 11 and there was nobody there. There were two tables, us and another table. And then another group came in as we were leaving, and the food was really great. The only thing that that I was sad about was that the prices were higher than I'm used to for dim sum.
Oh.
But I imagine that any dim sum restaurant in LA, like in Alhambra or San Gabriel area, is probably also higher than the last time I had dim sum,
Yeah,
which was
could be.
pre-pandemic. And I'm going to say the
That could
prices
be.
were probably double what I would expect at dim
Yeah.
sum. But if you happen to be in Tempe, go ahead and go to Dim Sum Cafe on the corner of Guadalupe and Alma School Road. It's quite good.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Not sure when I'll be there.
Jeff, you had a vacation plan meeting.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
That was the family vacation plans thing, and it got a lot of discussion as to where to go, like Disney World again, and people suggesting other places that were like not Busch Gardens, but like
Knott's Berry Farm?
like Cedar Point, stuff like that.
Cedar Point.
Yeah.
Where is Cedar Point?
I want to say it's like Pennsylvania or something, but I'm probably way off. It's probably like Iowa. I have no idea. I've never been there.
Point.
It's in Ohio.
Ohio. There we go.
Yeah.
Um.
The only theme park I know in Pennsylvania is Kennywood.
Oh, see, there we go.
I would like to go to Hershey.
Hershey Park?
Yes. But Hershey, like, I don't really care about the amusement park portion of it. I want to
Oh,
go
it's
for the chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go with you. It's a fun place. It's pretty cool. And even the theme park is kind of quaint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of boiled down to really being like between going to some of us going to Dollywood, and then basically I think just about all of us going on a cruise later. So
everybody's going to Dollywood, and no,
Some.
sorry, small group going to Dollywood. Almost everybody going on a cruise.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, yeah.
Nice.
And then from that point, it's sketchy as to what I don't know what cruise it's going to be and where.
How do you deal with
California.
family vacations when you have adult children? Like, do they just, okay, I'm an adult now and I am going to pay for it, or do you help out some of them, or? I'm just curious because I don't have children.
it's I think it's a matter of a portion of it. Like we'll we'll pay a
You'll
portion
help
of it.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah.
That's nice.
I don't know the whole plans.
Yeah.
Kids at home are going, wait, what?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to screw anything up.
Yeah, I don't know if they're even watching, but to be honest. But yeah, that's generally what we end up helping out some way. With I don't know what portioning we do. I mean, it changes.
Okay.
But yeah.
Mela says she's going to Dollywood in September.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah, she's going to be teaching at a millinery meetup, and so it will be apparently close to there.
Oh, cool.
So.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure, Guillermo del Toro, when we are going to go. It might be in the spring. I'm not really sure.
Cool.
I'll find out later, I suppose, but next year.
Alan popped by on Facebook to say hi.
Oh, hey, there's Alan. Cool.
And then
Pat is here too. Although
I never saw the stick guy.
There are people that I'm missing, like in the chat. So yeah, like I was trying to respond.
So when you say the chat, Sean is the only one of us that has something that concatenates all of the various places.
It should,
and
yeah.
so he has all these different chats that he sees all in one.
I do.
Whereas
Yeah.
Jeff and I have to open up
That's
the individual
restream.
pages.
Yeah.
And so like Pat popped in and then she popped away.
Weird.
Which was weird. And I'm trying to respond to Stixboy73.
Yeah, no idea.
And because he's talking about cruising on NCL, which we did.
Oh,
Yes.
see, there you go.
Colleen and I had a quite entertaining cruise.
We had a great
on
cruise.
The Pearl, which was really great. But I can't find his comments to respond to in my Facebook feed.
Yeah, I don't know which one we would be going with. I know that a lot of them want to go on the Disney one, which is expensive compared to, like, say,
Yeah, it is.
Norwegian or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
It's a tough call because, I
Yeah.
mean, the Disney thing, even just saying that you've been on a Disney's cruise, it
yeah,
feels like you're more special.
yeah.
But I have to say that, and I was telling Jeff this earlier, so I'm going to bore Jeff with this again. But when Sean and I went on a cruise with 3 other couples, and this was like 10 years ago or so, each of the couples chose a theme for one night of the cruise. And we all dressed to that theme because what we did as the couples, instead of planning our whole trip together, we just said we're going to go on the same cruise ship. Our cabins are going to be on the same level. They weren't close to each other or anything, but they were on the same deck. And then we all agreed to have dinner together every night. And we decided to have dinner in the regular restaurant that you're assigned to instead of going to a fancier one.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up spending a lot more time together, but it was really fun to just have that plan of meeting just for dinner and having a theme that we all dressed to so that we were all coordinated.
Yeah.
But it made it easier for the rest of the time to not plan to hang out together so that we didn't get sick of each other.
Okay.
We didn't, there wasn't like, you're annoying me by not doing the things I want to do or whatever.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, we saw just enough of each other, I thought. which
Yeah.
was really good.
And the theme nights that we created, there were people all over the ship that we even met people when we would go on shore in the various stops that we were in. We would run into people around town that were also touring, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're that group from the ship. It's freestyle cruising. You don't have to dress up." We're like,
Yeah, but still.
we know.
Yeah.
We want to dress up.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
and the other problem too was that we were very extroverted, so we did karaoke and we did stuff like that,
Yeah.
and that made us very recognizable, which was really kind of weird. So we'd be walking through like Astoria or something, and we'd run into someone in the shop going, "Oh, hey, you're those people."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I specifically remember in Victoria,
Ah,
we went to
there's Pat.
there's a mansion, a gorgeous mansion there
Yeah.
that we went to go tour. And then afterwards, we went to where the locals go when they want to go for tea, as opposed to there's a famous hotel where people, when they go to Victoria, they have tea. But I looked at the menu and I was like, it's expensive. It was like $90 a person.
Ugh.
And I get way too much food on the cruise ship anyway. I'd
Yeah.
rather go somewhere else. So people recommended this place to me. We ran into other people from the cruise ship and they were like, you're those people.
It mostly seemed to
Yeah.
be positive,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
right?
Pat has moved over to YouTube, so Pat's still here.
She has,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'm over on YouTube.
The
And Chris Marble
Same-
popped in on
same here.
Facebook.
So the longest I've been on a boat is kind of between two different things. It's like I've deep sea fishing a few times.
Uh-huh.
So that's not necessarily the same as a cruise, obviously, but that's a long period of time on a boat, and also going to Catalina. That's about as much I've
Oh,
done
I thought you had
boat-wise.
been on a cruise before.
No,
Oh, okay.
so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's fun. So I've been twice, Sean's been 3 times, and I believe we have enjoyed
Oh, cool.
all of our times.
Very much.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we had enough variety where we did the Queen Mary 2,
yeah,
which is very much an ocean liner experience.
yeah.
And then we did Norwegian, which is very much a cruise ship
Yeah,
experience.
two totally different
and
situations.
so it was nice to have different experiences while still going to sea.
Nice. So, and that's what we pretty much did. It was just discussing that and seeing what everyone wanted to do. And we also had dinner and such, so that was nice. And I think the next day, I don't know, I went with Rose and David and Sparrow. We went off to Old World in Huntington Beach because it's Oktoberfest right now.
Oh, fun.
But I think it was most fun just like going in a couple shops here and there and like talking to some of the people that work there. But the actual place where you'd get food at, whatever, it was just a little madhouse. They have like this whole open area that you sit in that's the actual festival part with the food.
Uh-huh.
And it was crazy. There's like long ass lines, like incredibly long lines to get food or whatever you're going to get. And we're like, okay, I don't want to do that. I'd rather have a table and have a waiter. They weren't doing that.
Uh-huh.
They usually have like artists and local vendors or something would usually have booths during this time.
Uh-huh.
Nobody there.
Weird.
Over half the stores weren't even open. And so we missed a lot. So I think that the last time we had gone there was, I don't know how many years ago. They do a different thing for Christmas.
Uh-huh.
And they have like an art thing too with local vendors, but it's more.
But
Yeah,
isn't that
that's a little more
whole
fun.
area going like... Wait, where did you go?
Old World in Huntington Beach.
Oh, I'm getting that confused with a place over in like off the 110
You're
freeway.
thinking like Alpine Village?
Alpine.
Probably.
Yeah, the one that's going out of business.
Oh,
Yeah, the where they used to have Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very similar. Yeah, that's what Mela says. Yeah, too. Yeah, Alpine Village.
Yeah.
It's when we went during the Christmas time. I liked it a little more because it's got decorations up for Christmas and such. The Oktoberfest isn't so much. It's just drink and eat.
Yeah.
And they'll sometimes have wiener dog races, which were not the day we were there, which would have been cool. But yeah. So
When I was in college, I lived in La Mesa in San Diego area, and there was always a really great Oktoberfest
Aw, see?
that was walking distance from my apartment, and
nice.
that was super fun.
Yeah. When we went to Disney last time, we went to Disney World, I think. They have a German area and the World Showcase,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and the restaurant there is amazing. And they have like stage show and singing, dancing, whatever. And like, wow, this
Fun.
is like it's like Oktoberfest all the time or something. So like kind of what it feels like. And that's what I expect in a sense
Uh-huh.
when you go somewhere. It's like excitement and everything, music, and everything. This was just like, well, I think there's a band somewhere. I don't know where they're at.
How sad.
you could hear the music, but I couldn't see them anywhere. I'm like, where are they at? And it was just wasn't really typical German Papa whatever music.
Yeah.
It was like some other cover stuff. And I'm
Oh.
like, what is this?
That's too bad.
Yeah, it was not good. So, yeah.
An update on tea at the Empress Hotel in Victoria is that the afternoon tea is in fact $95 a person, but if you want a glass of champagne, it is $135 more.
Wow.
That's
Whoa.
got to
Oh,
be
there it
some
is.
nice champagne.
Whoa. You better get the bottle
Woo.
for that.
Thanks, Six Boy.
It says a glass.
Um,
Oh, no, you know what? I think that it's not. Sorry, I read it wrong.
Oh.
It's $135 for the tea and the champagne. So
Yikes.
it's only $45 more.
Okay. Yikes.
no. See, Lori, did the cool thing. She went to Oktoberfest in Germany. That's
Okay.
got to be awesome.
But isn't that in September?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
That's-
she said that
that's
in
gotta be-
September,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, that's got to be pretty darn cool. Sticks Boy moved over to YouTube.
Yeah, we've been chatting over on YouTube.
Oh,
Says,
Don's here.
We
Yep.
can see his comments now.
Yeah,
And Kit.
finally see him. Yeah, yep. And yours like Sticks Boy. I'm like, what? And it's like, oh, the group Sticks Boy.
Yes.
God,
Oh, my
that's
God.
that's what
Group
threw
Sticks.
me off. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is it like? Like how you draw people when you're a kid?
No, no,
you
no.
know?
And in fact, he's talking about his favorite German rock group,
Yeah.
which is Die Happy, which is not Die Happy, it's
Yeah.
The Happy.
Like
Oh.
Der Happy, that sort of thing.
Right.
Well, Mella's going on a
not-
Norwegian cruise for 28 days.
Wow,
What? It's crazy.
it's
That's
not David
nuts.
Hasselhoff. I'm shocked. No, I'm gonna.
So, Sean, you
Germany.
went to a wedding rehearsal and then a wedding, right?
I
Man.
did. So I ended up at Disneyland on Monday,
Oh, there you go.
which was the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. Was the day that
Yeah.
like they filed their incorporation papers or business license or something like that. And so so I ended up at Disneyland during the day, which wasn't anything like super special. Like if they're celebrating the whole 100th anniversary of the company like all year, and so I guess they had some special pins and things you could buy and a little bit of merch here and there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything really amazing. So, but I walked around, got my usual exercise, and checked in with some people,
Wow.
and saw a couple people I knew running around. They were also sort of taking advantage of the day. Talked to some people by text, who were there that we never quite connected with either, and it was kind of fun. And so, because it was the 100th anniversary, every cast member I ran into, I wished them a happy 100th, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And man, they got the biggest kick out of that. They were like really excited. They're like, oh well, thank you. That was really nice. I'm like, okay. It usually goes the other way, where you wear like a birthday button, and the cast members are like, oh, happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy
Yeah.
whatever you're celebrating. And I just thought it would be nice to kind of flip that. And
Cool.
they really seemed to appreciate it, which was really fun. And I didn't do anything super special. I went into the Golden Horseshoe and I sat for a while because I had to kill some time because I was going to hop on the monorail and take it over to downtown Disney, where it lets off right in front of the Disneyland Hotel. And so I went into the Golden Horseshoe, where Eric was playing ragtime,
There you
which
go.
was fun. I don't know if this was aimed directly at me wearing my, sort of Star Warsy cap, but he did the Cantina theme in ragtime, which was very fun. Sort of Scott Joplin vibe on John Williams. That was really neat. And he's different than the guy Colleen and I saw last time, who was much more of a, this song, sing along kind of a guy. Whereas this guy was like all over the map. And if you tried to sing along to what he was playing, it was really hard because his lyrical scansion was all over the place.
Oh, there you go.
But it was fun. It was a good little show. So I thought, oh, okay, great. And I left and I walked around the corner. So I have been looking now for several months for a shirt for Jeff. He needs
Yeah.
an Indiana Jones button-down cosplay shirt, which
Yeah.
Disney is selling a very nice version of. But they've been out of his size for a while. So I thought, well, okay, I'll do my loop around and I'll look for the shirt.
Oh.
And so I'm walking by Indiana Jones, and there were a whole bunch of people gathered around the little man from Disneyland's tree.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And if you don't know who the little man from Disneyland is, it's Patrick Begora. He's a leprechaun who lived on the land, and they had to make a deal with him so that they could build Disneyland around his tree where he lives at the base of the tree. So you can find his little house, and there's a little stovepipe and a window and a door, and he, it's very cute. And there's a whole little golden book written about him that you can find online if you do a search for the Little Man of Disneyland.
Yeah.
I think Donald Duck is his foil in the book. And Donald Duck is pretty much everybody's foil all the time, but in particular. And so the people were gathered around. They were just like looking, and they didn't know anything about it. They hadn't decorated it for the 100th anniversary. Sometimes they decorate for holidays.
Yeah.
And somebody will do, St. Patrick's Day, or they'll do the 4th of July or something on the actual holiday day. And so nobody had done anything to it, but they didn't know anything about it, which was really funny. So I got to explain to all of these people what it was and where it came from and how to find the book and all that. It was very kind of nice. No shirt for Jeff.
Well,
And so I beat a hasty path over to the monorail, which was closed. Yay! So I went, shoot, because my whole timing was based on the fact that I was going to jump on the monorail and save myself some time. So I ran out of Disneyland, hot-footed it all the way over to the Disneyland Hotel, made it there early still, and because I had this wedding rehearsal to go to, you know how sometimes things do work out when you do something and you get to do something cool, and sometimes they don't work out.
Yeah.
This was one of the cases that didn't quite work out, where I'd got an offer to go to the lounge at Club 33 from a friend.
Oh.
And I had to turn it down. And they're like, well, if you're dressed nice, well enough, you should come join us. And I'm like, I'm dressed for a wedding rehearsal. I look great. So I had to turn it down. But the wedding rehearsal was terrific. It was in the Disneyland Hotel, which is so different than when Colleen and I stayed there 33 years ago for our honeymoon. There's extra towers. The waterfall is gone. The boats are gone. The little shopping area that was there, that was this sort of Tahitian, Polynesian kind of shopping area, is now Trader Sam's, and it's a restaurant. It's wildly different. And there's a gazebo in the middle of it called the Rose Court, and that's where we were going to do the rehearsal. So that went great. The wedding coordinator from Disney was amazing, and thank goodness I didn't have to do any of that. Sometimes that does fall to me when I do it, and it was just really nice. And so came home kind of early because I had to get the ceremony ready for the next day. And then took my radio show off, went back to Disneyland in my, suit and tie, went to the hotel, and did the wedding ceremony, which was really terrific. Really nice couple, Terry and Richard. And it was a Disney wedding without being like a Disney wedding. But we had some kind of fun with it. The ring bearer had like a Mickey Mouse doll that was supposed to have the rings in it. The flower girl had a bubble wand thing instead, and which was kind of fun. And they did their recessional was phantasmic at the end of the wedding, and I got to work one Disney line into the ceremony because otherwise it was a very very strict thing.
Yeah,
but I asked everyone to stand for the bride as she made her way down, and the groom took her from her escort. And they came up and stood on the gazebo in front of me, and I was able to look out at the crowd, who were all standing and mildly confused because people don't know when to sit, when to stand and when to sit. They just don't.
Yeah, this is true.
And so I just got to look out and go, "Be seated, please." Termine ser sentados, por favor. And that was
Did everybody laugh?
They did, and that was like
Okay.
even the people, the Disney employees laughed, which was great.
Yeah.
The cast members who were doing it. So. Had a great reception. Everything went till like 5 o'clock. Mickey and Minnie showed up. The DJ was a lot of fun, although he weirded me out slightly because he's very young and he didn't wear socks.
Oh,
And I'm like, it's a wedding.
bizarre.
Don't you think you should wear socks to a wedding? But, whatever. He was
Yeah.
also wearing like Nikes or something too.
Oh, see, there you
Nikes
go.
and no socks.
Yeah.
That is weird.
And the room that we were in, and I'd have to look at a map to double check this. I feel like the room that we were in used to be the old Granville Steakhouse. It's a big octagonal thing with a sort of Polynesian peaked roof on it. It's an octagonal building that juts out of the side of the hotel convention space. And I feel like it was Granville's, or it was like Steakhouse 55 or something. It had a different name there for a while. And so I'd have to look at a map. But so it was weird being in that space. And oh my gosh, there's like 3 pools there now, and there's like so much stuff going on, and it was crazy.
Gotcha.
I had a lot of fun. Couple was really great. And then of course I ran over to Disneyland after the reception was over, and had a fun time at Disneyland, where in contradiction to my previous day, because I was wearing a blazer and a tie, and I looked, pretty good, although I had my indie junk bag slung over my shoulder. But I'm walking around Disneyland, and like everybody's smiling at me. It was like the weirdest thing. I guess I looked nice or something. It was really weird, really very strange.
Bizarre.
But anyway, had a really good time, and then came home and crashed pretty hard. I was really tired, and that was it. That was my week. Everything had been like aimed at this wedding ceremony to make sure everything went off well and everything was terrific. I got word from the bride and groom that they filed their paperwork with the Orange County Registrar with no problem, so they're officially married. Everything was great, and the people at my table were awesome. We had the woman next to me was a doll collector, huge Barbie fan. The woman, so we had a lot of toy stuff to talk about, and she had pictures of her collection and stuff, which was really funny. And we had the, I see you, Chris Marble.
That's what I'm laughing at.
Maybe your zipper was down. My zipper was not down. Although, if my zipper was down and people were smiling, I'll take that as a good sign.
Thank you.
People are looking at our Halloween decorations outside. I had a really great time, and I love doing weddings and stuff for people. It was really great. Although I had so many people come up to me afterwards. This was a weird couple of days. I had a whole bunch of people come up to me, including a plaid. And if you don't know what a plaid is at Disneyland, they're the people who give the tours around Disneyland. They're the customer service representatives. I was talking, I think it was when I was telling the story about the little man from Disneyland, who a plaid had come up behind me. I turned around, and he's like looking at me, and I'm like, did I get it wrong? And he's like, you need to work here. Which I thought was like kind of really interesting. And then I had so many people come up to me after the wedding ceremony going, how long have you been doing this for Disney? I'm like, no, I don't do this for Disney at all. They're like, you need to do this for Disney. And I'm like, that's a job I would take.
Yeah, totally.
I would take efficient for Disney. I think that'd be pretty fun. I'd take the plaid too if I could go straight into plaid, but I think you got to work your way up. As you should start low and work your way up to tour guide. But it was an interesting couple days.
Okay. I went to a lecture today at lunch. A friend of mine who lives in New York was doing a food lecture along with a genealogist, because they were talking about how you preserve family recipes that have been handed down for generations.
Yeah.
And it was basically on how to, because a lot of times if you ask your grandmother, how do you make this famous recipe?
Yeah.
And you expect something that says 1 cup, and she'll be like, oh, I pour this much flour in, and then I pour some. And
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
were
Into
going over.
this.
They were going over how to get those measurements. The one thing that I thought was super interesting was they said if they just don't know how much they put in and they really don't feel comfortable measuring it because they might add more later, they said have them throw it, instead of putting it into the dish they're making, have them throw it into a separate bowl.
Yeah.
And then you measure it, and then they can throw it in the dish.
Yeah.
And then, or you can do like, if they were adding flour and they were just doing it with their heart, then you can measure like the first amount they throw in and then be like, okay, they threw in like another so much.
Okay.
So, or
Right.
start off with like measure out 3 cups of flour and then at the end measure what's left in the bowl, and then you can tell how much it is.
Gotcha,
So it was really
gotcha.
interesting. And then
Yeah.
they recommended that even if you don't have recipes that have been handed down, you can always find out what your genetics are, and then go to your bookstore or library and check out books on recipes from that culture.
The 23andMe cookbook.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
boy.
much. It was interesting. I wouldn't have thought to do that, but yeah,
That's
it was a
Oh,
good
nice.
idea.
Nice.
Yeah. So Jeff, you want to talk Star Wars?
Sure. I'll start with also by going, hi, Rose, and hi, Gregor. I see those two.
Hello.
Yes, I see they're still on there now. And also, I was going to bring up something while Sean was talking, and
Uh-oh.
but he kept going.
I do that.
So the well, I think I haven't gone to Disneyland because I haven't passed, but does it seem to you like something that's a big deal, like the 100, would be a bigger deal at Disneyland?
Gosh, they have a lot of stuff for
They
it,
do?
though.
I'll
Okay.
say this about it. First off, it is celebrating the longevity of the company and not the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a different way of approaching it. Like, I don't think they're doing a lot of 100th anniversary stuff in Florida because Florida just had an anniversary, I think. And
I think they're
so
doing it too, but probably not as big. I don't know.
think to a much lesser extent.
Yeah.
And but doing it over at Disneyland, Disney's in a weird bind right now because essentially what Disney did to celebrate their 100th anniversary on Monday
Yeah.
is raise all their prices.
Yeah.
Like the annual passes went up $150, parking went up another $5.
Yeah.
The ticket prices went up for locals.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. And so the Disney company itself, people are less inclined to celebrate the company
Yeah.
versus what they, the product they produce. So Disneyland in all of the countries is terrific. Disney World is amazing. Their movies are fine and great. People are liking Disney Plus content that they're doing. And they did celebrate that with a new animated film.
Yeah, I saw that short. Yeah.
that came out. They're showing that in Disneyland at the Opera House, on the screen in the Opera House.
Oh.
And they're also showing it on Disney Plus. And I haven't seen it yet. I thought
Oh, okay.
I'd wait to see it on our big screen with
It's
Colleen.
fun.
And,
So
It's a
for
short.
the 100th, they all of the flags in between the parking structure and the what you call it, the plaza,
Downtown Disney area?
Downtown
the
Disney
transit
area.
center. Yeah.
Those are all Disney 100 labeled.
Oh, okay.
And then everywhere in downtown Disney, and not everywhere, but all along downtown Disney and in a couple of places in the parks, they've got these giant coins that
Oh,
say
okay.
100. They're like silver coins that say 100, and then they have like purple signage, because purple and silver is the colors
Right.
of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Purple signage that says 100, and then
it lists
you
all of the parks. It lists all of the movies. So each of these banners that you see, like on the tram on the way in, will list something that is an achievement with the date under it. So
Okay.
it'll be Snow White and the year, or Tokyo Disneyland and the year.
and the
Gotcha.
giant coins. If you have a magic band, you can wave your magic band at it,
Oh.
and it lights up.
Oh, I
in
see. That's
colors.
cool. Nice.
And then they also had, that we've talked about on the show, they had food and drink. That I'm sure we could go back and find what it is that they've got going for the whole year.
Oh, okay.
And all of the characters, the Fab Five, the walk
Special
around
outfits.
characters, got new outfits.
Okay.
They did.
Yeah.
So like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy,
Okay.
all got new costumes that were purple and silver.
Purple and silver and sparkly. And then if you're a collector, they released scads of merchandise.
Yeah.
Okay.
So lots of pins.
So it's bigger than I thought. Then.
There's
Okay.
right, and there's an entire series of pins that are basically this sort of platinum color that is their theme. I think it's platinum and silver, and so they've got this platinum color pins with a little color accent for each character. So
Yeah.
like the inside of Elsa's cloak, or Robin Hood's feather, or whatever. And then there's been an entirely different line of merch that you can buy. If you go to like Shop Disney, they've been doing what they call Disney Decades. And so like every month or so, they issue another decade. And so they started in like the 1920s and then did the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. They're up to the 2000s now,
Okay.
which is the last one to come out. So if you go to Shop Disney, they'll have Disney 100 Decades 2000s collection that have, Loungefly and ears and stuffed
Gotcha.
animals and
They
fanny
also have a
packs.
Disney 100 collection on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 Shows.
We had maybe a request from the chat to see what shirts we're wearing.
Oh, okay.
So mine
sure
You
is,
go
thing.
first.
am I standing high enough?
Yes, you
to
got
see
it.
Mine
You're perfect.
is 0 with jack-o'-lanterns.
There you go.
What are
Jeff?
you wearing, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. It's nothing Halloweenish.
Who are you wearing tonight, Jeff?
I know. Oh, it's just this is Jawa.
Jawa with
Teeny.
Utini.
Jawa. That's all.
Did your chair shrink?
Did my chair shrink?
Yeah, it looks
I don't
like
know.
it shrunk.
No, he's still lined
okay.
up.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Got me there.
And then my shirt are the phases of the moon. Right here. Except the very last one, which is that's no moon.
Nice. Funny.
Gotcha. Ow.
Um,
All right, we're in
okay,
the middle
so
of Star
now
Wars history.
Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Star Wars. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, we'll start with the first one. Is December 16th, 1924 is when Alan Hume was born. His connection to Star Wars is that he was the director of photography of Return of the Jedi. And if you go to his IMDb, scads of other stuff.
Yeah, he's
He's
been
been
a
a-
busy
yeah, boy.
dude,
Yep.
and has like 100 movies under his credits. Although the top credit that he has makes me wonder. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea from 1997.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Like, huh? But he did like Space Precinct,
Oh, yeah.
and like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Fish Called Wanda.
Mhm.
John and Yoko, a love story. And he did A View to a Kill.
Yeah, Octopussy and Supergirl.
Yeah, Life Force and some James
Lots of
Bond
stuff.
Yeah,
He was a busy guy.
sweet.
And worked on some classics too.
Yeah.
Way
Oh,
back
and
to
if you
back.
like British comedies, he worked on the Carry On.
Oh, see, there you go. Beware
never
of
even
children.
heard of those.
Oh, we should watch them. So they're weird. They're very British.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The next person on the list is October 18th, 1930. David Tomblin. He was the first AD on both Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and also wrote and directed Return of the Ewok, which I'm not really sure what that is.
Nice.
I think is that the documentary?
That's the short film that Warwick Davis
Oh,
did.
okay, that's what that is.
When they were running around behind the
Yeah.
scenes. Yeah,
Yeah.
which was really fun.
Yep.
And he also did the 1978 Superman
Mhm.
movie.
Braveheart, Empire of the Sun.
The Prisoner, if you remember the Prisoner
Yep.
television series. Gandhi.
Yep.
Guys, and
Superman 1 and 2, man.
And for Colleen, he was second unit director
Yeah.
on Ever After,
See?
Ooh,
Cinderella story.
nice.
Yeah, very busy fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff.
And the last one of the birthdays of the list is October 18th, 1950. That's when Gerald Home was born.
Not to be confused with Alan Hume.
Yeah. He was, exactly. Mime artist, actor. He was Tessic the Quarren and Mon Calamari officer Varric in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
So he's one of the background guys, I guess.
The Tessic the Quarren is the guy we used to call Squidhead
Yeah.
in the old days because these guys didn't have names. Yeah, he's got a pretty short list of credits.
Yeah.
He looks like he was kind of a utility player.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, worked on the crew and such too. So
Cool.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then, let's see here. We have October 14th, 1997 is when Lucasfilm Limited awarded toy makers Hasbro and Galoob exclusive merchandising rights for the prequels.
Gosh, I got to tell you, just from a personal standpoint, I was working in the toy industry at the time everybody was bidding for these. I was working at Mattel and then ended up doing work for Playmates and a bunch of other small companies that also desperately wanted this license.
Yeah.
Hasbro had been given a provisional license to start making original trilogy toys again, which I think started coming out in 1995.
Gotcha.
But the fight, everybody wanted a piece of this pie. And I think Lucasfilm just took the easy way out, because I think Kenner just walked in and said, we paid for all of this, right?
Yeah,
Gestured to Skywalker Ranch and all that kind of stuff. And I think that was really all they needed to do. But one of the things that was really interesting, all of these prototype things that we created, and I made remote control tanks and a bunch of board games and a bunch of action figures and art pieces. Gosh, we did so much stuff. All of those things inevitably got picked up by Hasbro. I think Lucasfilm took everything that every other toy company had pitched and went to Hasbro and went, hey, make this.
Yeah, of course.
Because I saw a lot of the stuff I worked on come out of Hasbro.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Wah, wah, wah. October 15th, 2001. That's when The Phantom Menace was released on DVD.
I'm trying to think. I think I went to Westwood for that. I think that was where I met Rob Estrada for the first time.
Wow.
And we were in Westwood at... I had my car on display.
Yeah.
And David Milano and I went dressed as Jedi. We had lightsabers, but the only lightsabers you could have at the time, because we didn't have LED technology, the only ones that looked good had actual neon tubes in them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had made them with real neon tubes.
Gotcha.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
Interesting night.
Last one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Do the last one.
Oh, yeah, sorry. October 13th, 2014. Rebels the pilot for Rebels aired on Disney XD. Okay.
I liked Rebels.
Yes.
Me too. That was a good.
Fan of that one.
That was a good.
Rebels is a win.
Kelly pointed out that we forgot something for the Disney 100, and that is that they have a Disney 100 collectible coins.
Oh, okay.
Oh, which they have collected all of them, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
There are coin machines scattered all around the Disneyland Resort. Each machine, I think, has 4 different coins in it.
Okay.
They're about $5 a pop, and they did them in waves so that they'd refresh the machines as time went on. And is there a book, Kelly, that you can put all those things in? I know that a lot of the coin collector things like that, they'll issue a book with a bunch of cardboard cutouts. You can pop
it's not
them
like
all in.
it's like the squished penny thing. It's an actual coin.
It is a legit minted coin. Yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
And of course, you can buy them on eBay.
Of course.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
And they're really pretty, but it's a large financial investment. We'll put it that way. But they're really cool. And
Well, you can find a full list of collections online, like not collections of locations.
Right. But they're easy to find. I mean, you basically walk into like the Emporium, and the Emporium has a machine, or you walk
Gotcha.
into the hotel, and the hotel has a machine. But you do have to know where they are if you're going to get all of them, because 100 coins is nothing to sneeze at.
No, not at all. Crazy.
Well,
This Sticks Boy 73 is like, I need the prequels on Laserdisc. I have the... Oh, I don't have the prequels on Laserdisc.
they're actually
I have the original trilogy on Laserdisc.
they're actually 1 for $6 or 4 for $20, and you can only buy one
really?
with cash.
Oh.
That's what it
Bizarre.
says on the Disneyland site.
I thought they were looked at the machine, I thought they were $5 a pop.
Well, if you buy 4 of them at once, they are. But if you buy one, it's $6,
Oh,
according to the website.
wow.
Sure. Okay.
Could be wrong. Okay, let's see. We have 13 highlights from the Lucasfilm Publishing panel at New York City Comic Con.
Oh, yeah.
I heard,
Comics
this is
and
a little
stuffs.
bit of a sidestep here. I heard that the coverage of just about everything at New York Comic Con was sort of lacking this year.
Oh.
I have some friends who are locals and some friends who made the trip, and they said it wasn't as exciting as they expected it to be.
Bummer.
So,
Some of the 13 items are that Mace Windu is getting his own Marvel miniseries in January, which is in order to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace.
I feel like Mace Windu already had his own miniseries, because somewhere around here, I have, and I got for a bunch of our Rebel Legion guys who did the episode 3 premiere. I got a bunch of comics signed by Sam Jackson about Mace Windu.
Interesting.
So I'll have to do some research on that, because I remember one.
Grand Admiral Thrawn is coming back in Thrawn Alliances comic, which is written by Timothy Zahn and
Oh, well,
Jody
that's
Hauser.
good.
I don't know who Jody Hauser is.
Well, Tim Zahn created Thrawn, so he
Yes.
knows the character better than anybody. So that's pretty cool.
Phase 3 of Star Wars The High Republic has the Trials of the Jedi beginning. Star Wars The High Republic adventure continues. And
no surprise.
now they're saying that you can collect all of the High Republic's finest lightsabers. Oh, it is a book.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's a
I
book.
thought they were actually selling the lightsabers.
No,
It
they
is a book.
released a book with the film lightsabers already in it, and basically each page talks about each.
You can get
lightsaber.
one of them though.
Yeah.
The Blade of Stellan Geos is going to be at Shop Disney and Disney Parks later this year.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna need
And
to
it-
see it in person, because
The
it looks.
drawing looks like a sword.
Yeah, it does, and so the High Republic basically has kind of gone high fantasy.
This looks kind of like Voltron or something. I don't know.
It has a very anime look
It's
to
very
it.
silly looking.
I'm showing it to you guys
Yeah.
now if you're watching on the video. It's got and so I'm gonna need to see this one in person, because there's a big chance that there's gonna be a lot of plastic on this thing.
Yeah.
But it's got a little bit of Kylo's. They're sort of like retconning what Kylo Ren did, and went, oh well, in the High Republic they used to do this kind of thing.
They're
And
only selling 5,000 of them globally.
it really looks anime to me. It Power Rangers Voltron completely. You guys are totally right.
Yeah.
There is going to be a new book on Star Wars Return of the Jedi, celebrating visuals from the film. And there's going to be a book called Star Wars Dad Jokes,
Oh,
and I
no.
really hope this isn't the cover art, because the drawing that they're showing here for the cover is just
It's pretty
not
bad.
good.
Here
They look
you
like
go.
action figures.
Star Wars dad jokes.
I mean, it's a picture, but for some reason when I first saw it, it looked like action figures.
It's
know?
comic art.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
comic
it's
art
just
style.
ugh.
The best worst jokes and puns from a galaxy far, far away.
Dark Horse is putting out Tales from the Death Star, which should be interesting.
Yeah.
I imagine
like a
it's going to be
comedy.
the same as the tales of the other places in the Star Wars universe.
Looks like it could be fun.
And
Oh, DK Press is coming out with a High Republic book that covers the characters
Oh.
in their usual way.
Of course.
So that's kind of fun. All the DK Press books are great for props and for costume reference.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that.
and there's
That's
a kid's
true.
book about Buryaga and Yoda taking a field trip to Geonosis. The book is called Jedi Brave in Every Way.
Well, there you
It
go.
looks sweet, but you know. Okay. There is more on the. There's going to be an Obi-Wan Kenobi Qui-Gon Jinn Star. Oh, sorry. There will be new Dark Horse graphic novels starring Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
Right,
Yeah.
but I think they're old stories, aren't they? Are they collections?
A new series of original graphic novels.
Okay, cool.
So they are in fact new.
They're called hyperspace stories. That could be interesting.
And we've got a series of Mace Windu and Jango Fett. So we heard about the Mace Windu one in the last few minutes
geez.
ago, and
Yeah.
Right.
Jango Fett is also having a series.
Yeah.
Cool. It's the guy who's writing Jango Fett is sort of doing it as a continuation of the Bounty Hunters comic series. That was Ethan Sachs, and the Bounty Hunters series is coming to an end, so he's going to jump over to this new Jango Fett one. That could be fun.
Okay.
And that's just the sort of publishing arm of things. I mean, they're always doing kind of interesting stuff.
So Minecraft Star Wars Path of the Jedi downloadable content is coming on November 7th. And it says, grab your lightsaber for a new Minecraft Star Wars adventure.
Ah.
You'll play as a Padawan, customize your own droid, and build a lightsaber as you go on various missions throughout the galaxy.
Minecraft is one of those games that like I never quite got into. It's sort of like, you know, the Lego of gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was going to say it's because you were too old when it came out, but I know other people who got really into it that were not little kids either.
well, and
Gotcha.
people have been trying to find different ways of bending it to their will. Like some people make roller coasters. Like somebody made a roller coaster that basically went through the entire movie of Star Wars, where you were like in a car on a track and you went through vignette after vignette after vignette. It's so old school in its graphics. They're so like, you know, 8-bit blocky funky stuff that I just I don't know.
Well-
On one hand it's cool, I just never really got into it.
Yeah, someone and I keep forgetting the name of the group that's doing it was making Middle Earth.
Right.
But it was like based more on the book than the films, so they'll look a little bit different than the films do. Yeah, and from what I saw so far that they've gotten done was looked amazing, you know, because it was, you know, but
And finally, Hayden Christensen thanks Star Wars fans for welcoming him back in Ahsoka in a video that was posted on, I think on StarWars.com. It says Lucasfilm dropped a brand new video, so I'm assuming StarWars.com.
They
Yeah.
dropped it and they broke it.
Yeah.
oh,
He said he was just blown away by being asked to be part of Ahsoka, and then thanked the fans for massive support and feedback.
yeah,
It's a dangerous thing because the prequels took a fair amount of heat when they came out,
Yeah.
and Hayden Christensen himself along with Jake Lloyd, took a fair amount of heat for their portrayals of Anakin. But, you know, time heals all wounds, and people have largely embraced his return, regardless of what they thought back in 2005.
Yeah.
I think it's really amusing because that anger and hatred was the thing that led Lucas to sell Star Wars to Disney. He got tired of being attacked. He got tired of, you know, horrible South Park parodies and things. And he's like, I don't need this BS.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's interesting that it's all kind of come around, and people are revisiting that with a lot of nostalgia.
Oh, yeah.
I think because those who were kids back then are now adults with kids themselves. So.
Well, about Ahmed Best specifically, you know.
Right, the Jar Jar Binks hate that he had to suffer through.
Yeah.
And now everybody's glad to see him back in any capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. It's, I don't know, people like to be angry, and then they forget why they were angry.
Right. Do you want to do the top of the hour, Sean?
I surely will. This is Docking Bay 94. You could be listening to us on sci-fi.radio, sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. That's a URL you can type into your browser and get the radio show version of this show. Also have a whole bunch of news there, and we play things of geek interest 24/7 here on the station. I'll be back there tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the morning music show that we do, 9 a.m. Pacific time, called Good Morning Tatooine. Always glad to see you guys there. You could be watching us on my Facebook page, or on the sci-fi.radio Facebook page, or YouTube, or Twitch. All of those things are great. If there is a way to like or subscribe or follow or any of that sort of thing, please give that a thought. A big shout out to Boba-Kit Sovine, who does all of our documents and stuff and posts our links and things, which is great. I'm Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
Jeff Soledado.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And we're grateful to all y'all for tuning in tonight. Thanks.
Theme parks. So, what is with the tempers at Disneyland?
The prices just went up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, between the heat and the crowding and the costs, that's a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Another fight broke out last Sunday.
And this was in a weird place.
It kind of was.
Because, okay, we've seen fights in Toontown. We've seen fights in Walt Disney World at the World Showcase. I expect fights in places like Norland Square and whatnot.
Why?
Alcohol is because you have
Dust
two
booze.
lines that crash into each other between Pirates and Haunted Mansion, and it gets really stuffy around there and very claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And so so there are certain places that I expect fights there. This was in Fantasyland.
Yeah, jeez Louise.
And not just not in front of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, not in front of Snow White, not in front of the carousel. The Storybook Land? Canal boats?
When I first saw the headline, I thought they meant like the in front of the line.
Yeah.
And I could see that because that is the tightest line in the park.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you stand so close to the people on either side of you while you're waiting in that line.
It is a 1955 era line.
Yeah.
And as a result, you're really close to everybody.
And the first time we went to Disney after it opened, when after the lockdown happened, we got into that line because it was a short line, and I panicked by how close everybody was to us.
Yeah.
And I needed to get back out of the line. And that was horrible too, because there's no escape from that line. So that's where I thought it would be. It was actually across from where the whale has its mouth open. So not where you're getting on the ride.
Yeah, yeah.
But where the boat disappears
It's like
into the
In between the
behind.
teacups and the storybook.
Yeah,
Right,
it was.
right.
It was near teacups.
There's a little there's like a hat shop there, like a
Yeah.
Mad Hatter or
It
something.
it actually looks like
Yeah.
it started between the teacups and the hat shop.
right,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm showing in
Across
the video
from-
here. Somebody
Yeah.
shot
Yeah.
it.
It's like these are the same people that fought in Toontown. Must be different people.
I imagine they're different people. But, oh my gosh, it was
Hard
just,
to tell sometimes.
It was just crazy.
But there were what doesn't show in the video very well, because I've watched the video a couple of times, but there was a family that was kind of spread out. They were standing in the walkway and between the Mad Tea Party and the Mad Hatter store, and another family was trying to get by and asked them to move to the side, and then a fight ensued.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, almost every fight that happens is because people don't want to be courteous to other people.
yeah.
And every fight that I've ever seen at a place like Disneyland, or ones that almost break out, or people yelling at each other or something,
Yeah.
kind of comes down to people not being good citizens, basically. It's
Fun,
like,
fun,
cut
fun.
people some slack. Tensions are high for everybody. We're all hot. We're all hungry. We all spent money to be there. We're all getting our feet run over by strollers. There are certain things that happen at Disneyland that everybody experiences, and to not take these things in stride is when usually people start yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Or in this case, genuinely fighting each
Yep.
other. Because some
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
guy hit the ground, and
And apparently it started, the families were arguing, and then two teenage girls, one from either side, started arguing, like got too close to each other and started arguing, and then they started physically fighting.
Yeah.
so there's
But-
there's a courtesy clause that you are expected to follow when you buy a ticket to the park.
Yep.
And it says this: we ask all who come to this happy place to treat others. Oops, it just went away. Where did it go?
Don't.
To treat others with respect, kindness, and compassion. To help guests have a safe and enjoyable experience, we regularly update our resort rules. Those who cannot live up to this simple wish or follow our rules may be asked to leave the Disneyland Resort.
Yep.
And, the rules themselves are quite extensive, but, they're basic. Don't bring firearms, knives,
Yeah.
weapons. Don't smoke weed or illegal substances. Which I'd like to see them enforce just a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
especially in the parking lot.
And in the park.
Yeah, because
Oh.
we were on like Alice in Wonderland or something,
Yes.
and it smelled like a pot or
Somebody
cigarettes or
was
something.
smoking weed in the dark ride
Yeah.
because nobody could see them.
Yeah.
People smoke weed between the Pizza Planet, Pizza Port, and the Carousel of Progress.
Yeah.
Because they don't think anybody's over there.
Ugh.
So it's weird. You are not, by the way, allowed to bring horns, whistles, large megaphones, or artificial noisemakers.
Yeah.
Even if you're dressed up like the Mouseketeers, I feel like the Mouseketeers should have large megaphones.
Right? Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that you're not supposed to do, a lot of prohibited activities and stuff. But, dress well and, within reason.
Yeah.
We were talking the other day about people being in leggings and sports bras, and that's acceptable at the park now. But, if you're flaunting side boob or under boob or things like that, not so much.
Good times.
An alternative to fighting in the parks they offer is a Halloween time scavenger hunt around Disneyland. And basically, you can go download a guide that asks questions, to help you find things around the park. And then once you're done solving all the riddles, there's an answer key so that you can see how many you got it right. So you don't get anything except the pride of having completed it. I am going to Disneyland next week. I intend to do this scavenger hunt because it sounds like something I'd enjoy.
Well, and because it's a Halloween themed scavenger hunt.
Nice.
There are 13 entries, 13 things you need to find, and they take place at Disneyland, DCA, and the downtown Disney district. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, it could be pretty fun.
And finally, the big subject for today on theme parks: how much are magic key holders worth to Disneyland?
This
Around
is
pond
a
scum level,
really
probably.
depressing article.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Daily Breeze, although I feel like there was an Orange County paper that actually did this study, so I'm confused as to who did the study.
The OC Register is usually the one that does this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
I was just talking about this with somebody too, trying to figure stuff out, because I had mentioned that I had done, I think, 55 trips to Disneyland last year on my annual pass, and we figured out that I would have spent the entire cost of the pass plus $200 in parking alone. With that many trips to the thing, because passes are like what, $1,600 or something.
I think you would have.
It would have been like $1,800 in parking, I think.
Yeah.
Oh! Just in parking.
Just in parking, not counting
Yes.
admission.
Yeah, it is
just-
insane.
just
And the price
in
of parking just went up $5.
Yeah, it went from $30 to $35.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So there was a lawsuit that we've talked about before where in 2021 the Dream Key was only $1,400, and the annual pass, well, the key holders who had the $1,400 pass were promised no blockout dates, but there were blockout dates because there were days when they weren't able to get into the park because the reservations were gone.
Yeah.
Right.
So Disney changed all the rules leading up to that. Now there is no pass that has no blockout days, which is, I'm sure Disney actually likes that, because now even the highest level of pass is blocked out the week of Christmas.
Right.
But in addition to that, each of the 103,435 Dream Key annual pass holders are getting
Which includes me.
$67.41.
Right, which isn't even the cost of a ticket.
It's the cost of 2 parking days.
Right, but what it is apparently the amortized cost of like 18 days or something that you couldn't get in, and which basically brings it to the point where with the annual pass, if you could go every single day to Disneyland, that's worth $3.83 a day, which is better than $104
Yeah.
Right.
to buy a ticket, or $194 if you get the extreme part of their tiered pricing thing. So they basically took a certain number of days and said, okay, we will pay you for like 18 days that
Yeah.
potentially you could have missed because of missed reservations and things
Pretty
like that.
much.
But so getting $67 in the grand scheme of things is like not much. I feel like the real winners in this class action suit are in fact the lawyers, as almost as always the case. But it's what it did do is it engendered some changes to the Magic Key terms of service.
Mm-hmm.
So you now have to sign a thing that says, I will not sue Disneyland for,
Yep.
for potential lost days and things like that. I mean, I figured it was going to be the case when we signed up. I wasn't happy about it, but I wasn't expecting to get any money from it. Getting a check like this is basically like getting a low residual check from SAG. And you're like, yeah, okay. So it's like, it bought a few mint juleps, I guess.
But what
it's 5% of the cost of the Dream Key.
the knowledge that also came with this is that number, that the number that was in the
103,000.
lawsuit,
Yeah.
people?
The 103,435 people that are dream key holders or were. That's the first time that number, the number of a certain level of the annual passes has ever gotten out.
Yeah.
Right. They're
So-
really tight on their attendance numbers.
So it was interesting that that the Daily Breeze or the Orange County Register, whichever one did this article to begin with, they were able to extrapolate that there are there's no way of knowing if there are still just over 100,000 Inspire, which replaced Dream, key holders today, but the number serves as a good estimate. And they can somewhat estimate that the other tiers probably have more people in them. So it's interesting to see that the Magic key holders are like 50% of the people
attendees.
of the attendees.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And they said that basically if you take that number of the annual, the top tier Magic Key owners, and you just assume that the other tiers are the same, so you've got like 412,000 people or whatever, or 13,000 people, Disney would bring in almost $4.5 million. I'm sorry, $440 million.
Yeah.
From just annual passes,
Yeah.
which is that's a lot of freaking money.
Yep. 150 days. They apparently buy 150 days or $150 worth a day in the parks. It says the pass holders,
Yeah.
right? Or does it say? It says actually it just says, yeah,
It's $150 for regular daily visitors.
Yeah.
To attend.
Yeah, so it
which
doesn't
if
really-
you buy
yeah.
a ticket.
So that's if you're buying a ticket. It doesn't really say how much they think the pass holders are doing.
No, but so potentially, like I could figure out what my annual thing was, but they say it's like $4 a day if you can do every single day at Disneyland, which of course nobody can do that.
Yeah,
That's insane.
but like how much do you?
But,
That's like how much do you spend at the parks? Is like what are they paying inside the park?
I did
you know?
55. Well, and that was a thing. So I spent $30 a day
Yeah,
for each of my Disneyland visits.
Yeah.
If I do like $1,600 divided by 55, that's what I get. One of Disneyland always complains about how people don't, pass holders don't spend enough in the parks.
yeah,
But I gotta tell you, I spend a lot of other people's money. Every time I'm going, people are like, oh my gosh, you have a pass. Get me this Loth Cat. Get me a Jedi tunic. Get me this. Get me that. I'm a Haunted Mansion fan. Find this.
Yeah.
Get this zipper. I spend so much money in there that isn't my money, but it still counts.
yeah. I gotta wonder about the average they're putting down here. It says $149 per day average of someone that just buys a ticket in.
That's
that
the
means-
average across the board
So
of what a
that's-
ticket costs.
So that's like them coming in and going, "Hey, I've come for the year and I've spent this money." But they're, that's so if, that's based on one day.
That's an average person buying a ticket. That's
Yeah.
not like a Magic Key. That's somebody
That's just the
who's
150
like,
to get into the
I'm
park, right?
buying a ticket to get into that
Yeah.
because sometimes it's less than that, sometimes it's more than
Okay.
that. And if you take their tiered pricing and average it out across the year,
Yeah.
it's $150.
So you think about it, it's like people that are just going there like this one-time person, this family, they could be spending, I don't know, $100 or something in the park, whatever they're spending, but they're only going there like one day,
Right.
and you're going, and pass members pass holders like you are going like every week, so
Well, this
That's,
said that the math that they did in this article, it says that Disneyland brings in between 2.3 and $3 billion annually from Magic Key pass holders and daily visitors.
Mhm.
So the entire attendance across the board at Disneyland brings in up to $3 billion.
Mhm.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Apparently not enough for them, but it's a lot.
All right, Sean, you want to take on the rest in peace section?
I will. At the age of 87, we lost Mark Goddard. He was the pilot of the Jupiter 2, Dawn West, in Lost in Space. We all know Lost in Space. We all grew up with it. There was a really terrific memorial done by Bill Mumy, who was of course Will Robinson on the series, and he went on to do other stuff. He was in The Fugitive and The Fall Guy and General Hospital and One Life to Live. And when he wasn't acting, he was working as a special education teacher, which was kind of nice. But if you were a Lost in Space fan, he was the man who flew the ship. If you were a fan of Twin Peaks, you might have recognized Piper Laurie, who turned up in that series as the head of the lumber mill there. She was insanely good and disturbingly scary as Carrie's mom in the movie Carrie. She was in Children of a Lesser God. Just an incredibly talented actress. Catherine Martell was the character. She played in Twin Peaks for David Lynch, and she did a bunch of Hallmark movies, and she was on Frasier as Christine Baranski's mother. Modeled after Laura Schlesinger, if you remember Dr. Laura Schlesinger.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting stuff. Anyway, just an absolutely phenomenal actress, Oscar nominated, and worked with a tremendous number of people, and did Broadway, and I mean, you name it. She was just incredible. So sad to hear of her passing. Burt Young passed away at the age of 83. He was Paulie, if you remember the Rocky films.
Mm-hmm.
He was Rocky's cousin Paulie. I mostly remember him with the robot.
Oh yeah. Happy birthday, Bobby.
Which was funny, but he was just one of those guys. You saw him and stuff, and you're like, oh man, that dude. Which was interesting. He wasn't in some of the later movies. They sort of killed his character off, which was kind of a bummer. But he was the guy who was working at the meat packing plant that got Rocky in to beat up the cow carcasses to train himself to fight. Kind of a weird footnote to be part. And then at the age of 76. We lost the mysterious blonde in the Thunderbird. Suzanne Summers passed away.
Chrissy Snow.
Chrissy Snow, yeah. She was in Three's Company. And, of course, she was in American Graffiti. Her family got together to celebrate her 77th birthday, and she passed away just before. But Rockford Files, The Love Boat, $6 Million Man.
Yep.
She was in all sorts of stuff, and was the quintessential blonde babe. And then after Three's Company, she was the quintessential ditzy blonde babe. And of course, she will go down in history as the woman who shilled the Thigh Master.
Yep.
There you go. She's the sheriff.
She is the sheriff. That
All right,
didn't last
so
very long, did it?
We're trying something new this week. We are going to include trailers as part of Speed Round, so we may not go over all the trailers that that have been released in the week, but honestly, we never do.
Yeah.
Right, we never quite make
It's
it.
always a selection of them, but we will be doing those as part of Speed Round. Jeff, you want to give it a start?
Yeah. So there is a character that they've come with, Marvel came up with for one of their games. I think it's a mobile game called Marvel Contest of Champions, and mobile fighting game. And the character they came up with was called Chi-Eelth. It's a Native American.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the fighting strength from Brother Grizzly and the skill to heal from Sister Eel. So she's a Native American superhero they created for this, but they're also going to add her to the Marvel Comics itself by having a special comic book you can get that's like a one-shot all about the origins of Chi-Eelth. And then, so it, her costume looks cool. So
she is ripped.
Yeah,
man.
there's a video as well. I'm looking at the actual article. I don't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Um,
her character is super buff. And
Yeah.
and can I point out that as opposed to just like a bunch of white guys getting together and writing a story the way they used to in the 60s and 70s, they've got several cultural experts on board.
Yep.
And a First Nation artist.
Yeah, that's correct.
So
Yeah.
they're really trying hard with this.
I don't remember which nation it is that she's supposed to be from, from the Native American. So
I do not see.
I know that they've got other, like you mentioned, the people that are working on it, but I don't remember who. I really don't remember who it was, what the nation was, but it might say in the video. I just don't have the audio on for that either.
Yeah, they might talk about it, but it's not
Yeah.
printed anywhere. I can
Yeah, it's
see.
not in the superhero hype article that I've got up, but yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Cool. I want to share our last treat that we had from when Sean and I went to Japan. We'll just do a little tasting like we sometimes do on the show.
Yeah.
These are rice cakes with melon cream soda flavor.
I thought you were gonna say melanin.
No. This one for Jeff. Sean, you gonna catch this?
Looks squishy.
All right, let's see if these are any
squishy.
good.
Oh my god, it's like a weird egg, like a weird alien egg.
Well, it's mochi, so
Ooh, it's
Yeah.
gushy.
rice.
Gushy.
Uh-oh.
See,
Rice
Yeah,
cakes.
it
that's
is a glowy.
there we go.
Ooh,
green
mine's not completely. Ooh, it is gushy. It
Yeah.
gushy.
feels
There
like
we
a
go.
booby.
Well, I like boobies.
All right.
It's like a breast implant.
It smells like melon cream.
Okay,
It's like a mix between melon and cream
Yeah.
soda.
it's very green. All right, I'm biting in. It has like a hard jelly inside, which is weird.
What do you mean a hard jelly?
It's like an artificial
soft.
melon flavor.
The outside is really soft and the inside is harder.
It looks kind of like it's got like the outside and the inside, and there's a marshmallow layer in between them.
I like it.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, not jelly bean hard. It's like a jelly candy hard.
Yeah. In the middle.
Mine
I
doesn't
didn't come
taste
across
like it's
that.
harder.
I
Or-
didn't come across any of that in the middle of mine, so
Yeah. I mean, I had something
it was
in
very
the
much
middle.
like it was kind of like but it did have like a really soft marshmallow consistency to it.
Sean?
The outside did. But
Ooh, sorry.
Catch!
I didn't like the way you described that, so I'm throwing it into the middle of your toys.
I don't know where it is now.
Oh dear.
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, you can have the last one then. There weren't
Oh,
very many in the bag.
I mean, you'll find it later.
Yeah, I
When you
hope so.
step on it.
It's here somewhere.
But it's Sean's turn now. What
It's
will
my
we do?
turn. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's kind of like a Jello skin in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you have been wondering about Daniel Radcliffe because he's sort of bulking up, which kind of happens with guys who are like young actors, and it's like they get older, they sort of get more ripped as time goes on.
Yeah.
This happened with Anthony Michael Hall. And he overdid it. In fact, he went like Cro-Magnon because he was he was such a skinny, nerdy guy in the Breakfast Club and things. And then he showed up in Edward Scissorhands, and you're like, is that the same dude? It was kind of nuts. But Daniel Radcliffe's been doing some interviews. He's on Broadway right now in Merrily We Roll Along. Jonathan Groff is in it. And they put him on a lie detector.
Yeah.
And so they asked him straight out, they're like, are you the one who started the rumors that you might play Wolverine? And he said, no, I didn't. And I'm not playing Wolverine. I got buff because I am obsessive. You've seen my parents. They're like insane fitness people. And so that's been passed on. But no Wolverine. Flattered, but no. So if you're thinking about...
so who put him on a lie detector? Some talk show?
Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair magazine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you know how reliable those are. But
but it's still an interesting thing, you know.
Good old pseudoscience.
Anyway, so the rumors have been going around for a long time that Daniel Radcliffe is going to play Wolverine in a new series of movies. It is a fan favorite rumor because who doesn't like Daniel Radcliffe and who doesn't like Wolverine?
Yeah.
And he's short.
Yeah.
And now he's like kind of ripped and sort of stockier, and he's basically he is creeping more and more into the comic version of the character, as opposed to Hugh Jackman, who was like way too big.
Way too tall.
He looked amazing. He was completely ripped. He took it super seriously.
Yeah.
But not so
you know,
much.
I bet you he's still going to be in it because it's not. He'll just be in Deadpool 3, but not the new Wolverine. Just like they did with Doctor Strange. You know, they had the fan casting show up.
Right.
So
right.
I bet he'll be in that as a alternate universe Wolverine.
Wacky. Jeff?
Yes. So Ahmed Best took to Twitter and or X or whatever the heck it is now. I don't know what it is. And he says, based on some fan art and such, he says, I think I would make a dope blue Marvel, as my mother would say. And so he's like, basically he's hoping that Marvel Comics will go, that's right, yeah. So that would be kind of cool. I mean, I would also have liked to see him as like Mr. Fantastic. That's another one he was trying to vie for. I'm like, yes, please, any of these. Come on. It'd be great.
I think I was about to talk about the same one that Sean's about to talk about.
Uh-oh.
So I'll do a quiz instead, if you guys are
How
okay
can you
with
tell
that.
I was about to talk about it?
Fail,
Because
fail,
your
fail.
cursor's on it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I saw that there was a cursor there, and I went and looked
sorry.
at it, and
Yeah.
it was you.
Okay.
So that is what you're talking about next,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Man, this one's been on there a while.
Yeah, I've got a Spider-Man quiz.
All right.
Unless you guys don't want a Spider-Man
Here we go.
quiz.
Go for
Time
it.
to fail. All right, here we go.
Okay. In which Marvel comic did Spider-Man first appear?
Amazing Fantasy.
Wow, go Jeff. By the way, this is a D23 quiz.
There's probably multiples. Who knows?
You were right.
Okay.
Who is the villain in Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man 2, the movie?
It
Doc
just
Ock.
says who is the villain.
Dr. Octopus.
Yes. One of Spider-Man's popular villains, Doc Ock, can move his limbs at speeds of up to blank feet per second. The choices are 100, 50, 90, or 70.
50.
I have
can't
no
be more than
idea.
that.
I feel like
Go with
90
100.
because
90 feet per second?
He said it was 100 and something. What was 100?
100 was the highest one.
100.
That's what
Let's go with 100.
Jeff wants 100.
I don't know.
I'll take low with
It's some
50.
goofy comic book thing. Who knows?
90.
See, there you go. Woo!
90, all right.
I got one.
Yeah,
It just
I don't
90
know.
felt like a better like it sounded better, and I'm sure that's all they care about.
I know it's a comic book.
when-
It just seems ludicrous.
I'm like,
that's all.
when was that even in? You know?
Something in a comic book is
Yeah.
ludicrous. Someone call the comic book police. Richie Rich bought a new chauffeured limousine because there was a pull in the fabric and it didn't go with his suit anymore. or
See,
something.
yeah, figures.
Well, that's just a rich guy thing. I mean, you know.
Oh, so you're saying that's not ludicrous?
It's ludicrous, but it's something
Whoops.
Donald Trump would do.
Or some other rapper. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just going to be sad now. Finish this quote from Spider-Man 2.
Oh boy.
I have been blanked by fate. You want me to give you the choices? Because
been
it
blanked
doesn't
by
start with
fate?
an F.
Okay.
It should start with an F. I have been stung, gifted, challenged, or struck.
Gifted.
Challenged.
I'm going to go with stung. I'm winning this.
She got it.
Wow.
I got
I
that
don't-
one.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
What
don't know
year
it.
was... Usually I know all the answers, but
Yeah.
since I'm doing a pre-made quiz, I don't know what the answers
Gotcha.
are. What year was Spider-Man 3
Oh,
released?
God.
I have no idea, but the
Okay.
choices are 2007, 2000, 2005, or 2006.
2007?
Good grief.
I feel like it was sooner than 2007.
I don't know. I'll just say 2007.
Oh,
I
no,
really
it
don't
could have
remember.
been 2007.
Yeah.
It was 2007.
Oh, hey.
Go, guys. In Spider-Man 3, what does Spider-Man's new symbiote suit do?
What do you mean?
The suit turns gray and makes Peter's web stickier.
No.
Or the suit turns black and
Yes.
Peter turns into Venom.
No.
Or the suit turns black and
Mm-hmm.
enhances his powers, making Peter prideful and overconfident. Or
Yeah.
the suit turns gray and Peter begins to lose his memory.
It's the
That's
third one.
number
The
3.
prideful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man 3, who is Peter Parker's best friend?
That is...
Harry Osborn?
Yeah, Harry.
Okay.
His dad's Norman. I'm just like,
Yes.
my brain.
I thought Sam Raimi was an actor.
He's a director.
He is a director.
Oh, that's one of the choices.
Ted's his brother.
Sam Raimi is one of the choices for Peter Parker's best friend.
Well, yes, to one extent. But
That
he's
works,
Tobey
yeah.
Maguire's best friend at
Yeah.
this point.
In Spider-Man 3,
Oh,
what
boy.
is Peter Parker's... Was Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. In Spider-Man 3, what is Peter Parker's day job? Delivery boy at a pizza parlor, caterer for Aunt May's pastry business, photographer at the Daily Bugle, or teacher at his neighborhood high school?
Photographer.
He's always a photographer.
I feel like he was a delivery boy because he got fired from being a photographer.
Oh, maybe.
It could be. I
Nope,
don't
he was a
remember.
photographer.
Yeah.
When was Venom's first comic book appearance?
Oh, Jesus.
You don't have an instant one. It was in The Amazing Spider-Man. But was it number 209, number 17, number 305, or number 298?
This
You're
is-
on the spot, Jeff.
Jesus.
What
What the hell? God. What's that second one say?
17?
Oh, yeah, it is not that one. Okay.
That's too early.
I think
298.
298?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
It's 298.
Oh, hey.
Jeff gets
Wow.
Wow, lucky.
it. And the last
Uh-oh, here we
question,
go.
featured in Spider-Man 3,
Uh-oh.
when was Spider-Man's symbiote suit first introduced in the comics?
Okay. The Secret Wars.
What?
Right.
Secret Wars.
Okay. Which one? Number 8 or number 12? 84 or 85?
Oh,
I was impressed that you knew
It was
Secret Wars.
84.
Even I knew the Secret Wars.
Okay, Jeff won.
Well, obviously.
And are you dissing me?
No,
I think you are.
I'm not dissing you.
Yeah, you are. That's it.
Okay.
Jeff wins.
Woo!
Yeah, it's Spider-Man. It's no surprise.
You know. There's some of that stuff I didn't know, but then it was like really like like this number, this age. I'm like, what?
All right, Sean.
Alrighty. So we buy not enough candy typically, every year. We have tried to plan ahead this time.
Or way too much.
We may have bought
Yeah,
too much
yeah.
this year. But we have
Bet
had
it's
our
not
neighbor
enough.
bring candy back for us. We have run out to get more candy. We're always just shy of candy.
It's better than the trick-or-treaters bringing candy back to you.
That usually never happens. we choose good candy. But
Actually, I think last year, Dustin gave us his kids' trick-or-treat candy.
something.
Oh, okay.
He gave us more candy to hand out because
Yeah.
we were getting so many kids, and we ran out.
Okay.
So if you find that you have run out of candy and get to them early enough, the Halloween Rescue Squad from M&M's will bring you candy. You can get candy everywhere from like $6 bags to the $30 Skittles, Snickers, Twix, M&M's multi-bag to hand out candy. It's a 4-pound, 2-ounce bag of candy for $30.
Wow.
And so, you know, if they'll get it to you between 30 and 60 minutes.
Which is too long if you're running out.
Have run out of candy. Yeah. I mean, you better know in
I
advance.
don't. The thing that's bizarre is that it's while supplies last, so they're going to run out of candy at some point.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, how do you gauge your I ran out of candy to keep it before they run out of candy?
Right. It's tough, and it's powered by something
don't
called
know.
GoPuff, which I
Which
assume
sounds like a pot delivery.
another delivery service.
Yeah.
Hey man, did you call for the munchies?
So Dominic's has a non-Halloween related program that is similar
Yeah.
called Domino's Emergency Pizza. But I'm thinking it's not free. Oh, I lie. Domino's is giving away free pizza. Here's how to get it.
Hey, right on. We got one across the street, man. The thing about this Halloween Rescue Squad, though, it only operates on October 31st at 3 p.m. So,
I don't understand. Customers for Domino's, customers have to place a digital order online or get a digital carryout order of $7.99 or more. Once the order is complete, the customer can qualify for the emergency pizza. In order to get the pizza, customers have to sign up for rewards. Oh, basically, if you spend $7.99 using their app,
you get a
you
coupon
get a free
for
pizza.
the pizza.
Yeah, that's
and,
lame.
And it's a free medium 2-topping pizza to order whenever you need it.
Until February 11th,
Right.
when time runs
So
out.
you can't even get an emergency pizza for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
What good is that?
Yeah.
The Halloween Rescue Squad candy. Shoot,
Oh, this is
it
interesting.
went away. Go ahead.
If you buy participating Mars Halloween products, you can get up to 3 months free of Peacock Premium. You upload your receipts, and they will give you. Peacock is the NBC Universal streaming channel. Yeah. You'll get 3 months for free.
So I just entered our address
Mm-hmm.
into the form, but now I have to check back on 3 p.m. Eastern, by the way.
Yeah.
So it
7?
here it will be noon.
Or
So I wonder if
3?
they'll be
Oh, the
out
other
by
direction.
3 p.m.
Well,
Well,
I
backwards.
think it'll probably
Well,
start here at 3 p.m. Pacific. I think it'll work its way across the country at the same time.
I don't know. On the website, it says check back here at 3 p.m. Eastern on October 31st for rescuing. But it doesn't say whether we are eligible.
There's a lot of companies that are really kind of glomming on to Halloween and stuff. One of the links off of this page is that the McDonald's Boo Buckets are back, which were the little pumpkin witch.
Right. Oh, that was on our list for last week.
Yeah, and I'm
world?
disappointed by them still because they don't have the nice domed lid that they used to have back in the day. Like we have one. We have the witch one. And the witch one has a nice black domed lid with a little pointed hat on it. It's very cool. These ones have a little handle with a little plastic thing that sort of simulates the domed lid on it.
Bizarre.
There is a new color, though. In addition to orange, white, and green, there is now a purple vampire. So orange pumpkin, white mummy, green Frankenstein, and purple vampire.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, and Burger King, they have a black one, just so you know.
Black plastic pumpkin.
Yeah, you
don't
can get
know.
a trick or heat
Ow.
bucket that just started this week, and it's black with ghosts on it.
You must purchase 1 Whopper sandwich and receive 1 Whopper sandwich at the same or lesser price to get Trick or Heat as a contest.
Not for the bucket, I don't think.
Huh.
But Trick or Heat is inspired by their new Ghost Pepper menu editions. So the ghosts on the bucket are ghost peppers. It's very cute.
Oh, well, they also have a contest that you can try to win a free Ghost Pepper Whopper sandwich,
Uh-huh.
a free Whopper sandwich, buy one, get one free Whopper sandwich, a free 4-piece chicken fries. It's
Well, and not to be outdone,
very confusing.
even though it said goodbye last year, the McRib is coming back in November
There you go.
to select restaurants, not everywhere.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff?
Yeah, so one of the last shows we talked about getting the special spongy boots from Crocs. So now,
The cowboy boots.
yes, those were expensive, like $250. Expensive suckers. Now you can get kids or adults can get the Crocs that are inspired by Tow Mater from Cars. You can also get, I believe you can also get Lightning. If you go to crocs.com.
Lightning McCrocs.
Yes. And they ran out of the adult ones. Apparently they're going to restock, so if you go there right now, they won't be there. But
I'll show
yeah.
all y'all a picture while Jeff's talking.
and they have that, the Mater one, and then the Lightning one is just looks like more like Lightning. I don't know if there's any pictures on the page, but it's $60 for adults. So
There's a
way
lot
cheaper.
of paint involved,
Yeah, way cheaper than those boots, I tell you, that were just boots.
but it's still really
yeah.
pricey.
Yeah, it is. And then you can get all the little charms for them, I guess, or I don't know.
Well, I
whatever
think the charms that are part of them, that's part of what you're buying. You get the like Mater charms and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the engine on the front
Yeah.
and stuff. The jury is still out on me for
Yeah.
Crocs. I haven't found a pair of Crocs I
Yeah.
like yet.
And I think the Lightning ones may just be for kids, but they're sold out.
Maybe I don't see them here.
Yeah,
on the
I found it on
list.
the actual website for Crocs. It's on there, but they're sold out of those. And I think they're just for kids. The Lightning ones look just for kids, but the Mater ones are for both. But they're, of course, sold out for adults.
That's what they do all
Yeah.
the time.
But you can only get them on Crocs.com, apparently. You would think they'd sell them in, like, the park, being so specific to the characters, but nope.
There we go. I'm fine. Yeah, they're out of stock.
Yeah.
I do not want to join their club. I'm just trying to look at a picture of these
Yeah.
things. But because they're
That's
out of
great.
stock, apparently I can't
Yeah.
click on them.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a side view, and it looks like them, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
It does, unlike Mater, it doesn't have, like, the wheels on it.
No, weird, huh?
Yeah. Strange. I don't know. I like I said, I haven't seen a pair of Crocs. I've seen lots of Star Wars Crocs and stuff, and people are like, "Oh, you need to get these." I'm like,
Yeah.
They still look like nurse shoes to me,
Yeah, they're about the same. Yeah.
but not as cool.
Yeah. We are back to title screen for some
I
reason.
see that. I don't know what happened.
Dawn says that Snickers made a 1-pound bar. Oh, it is. You can get it on Amazon for $22. It is a slice and share giant bar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the biggest problem with
Gigantic.
that kind of thing is that the ratio is usually off.
Yeah, it's gross.
Of the inside. It's like getting a giant Reese's peanut butter cup doesn't taste right. It's
Yeah.
like too peanut buttery, because the chocolate to peanut butter ratio is not ideal. So that's how I feel about giant 1-pound bar. The only big thing like that seems to work out pretty well are like the giant Hershey's Kisses, that are like a big giant solid
because
Hershey
they're
kiss.
they only have one ingredient, and
Exactly.
that's the chocolate.
It's just like the
Yeah.
one type of chocolate works out.
And I do know that chocolate has more than one ingredient, but you guys know what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Let's see. I feel like it's me here.
I think it's you.
Could be.
I wanted to talk about a trailer, the Netflix Scott Pilgrim Takes Off series.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. that
is
was
coming
cute.
out on November 17th, and I'm a little confused. I know we've been talking about the Scott Pilgrim remake forever, but correct me if I'm wrong. That this is an animated series,
Yeah.
and it's the movie, but animated, and the movie came from a comic book.
Yeah.
And the same actors that were in the movie are playing the same parts.
Yes.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
All right,
there's a huge cast
So it's
crossover. Just
looks
about
Pretty much
everybody.
just a
Kinda
remake.
cute.
Yeah, in the cartoon form.
I don't know if I like the animation. I'm not really into animated things, but
And that animation, just so you know, like completely mirrors the
it
comic
looks like a
books.
comic book.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
exactly what the art was.
I'd be willing to watch this. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Edgar Wright
Yeah.
is back,
Yeah.
and he did the movie.
Right.
So I mean,
Nice.
that's a good sign.
Well, I actually, when I saw the cartoon, I was like, oh, I should go back and watch the movie. Scott Pilgrim does whatever he
Yeah.
does,
Right.
asks for a date or whatever it is. Sean?
So I'm a SAG-AFTRA member, and it's been a real challenge trying to figure out how to negotiate the strike. And as a SAG member, I don't work a lot, and less so since joining SAG.
Yeah.
But the strike is still going on. The producers walked away from the table.
In fact, I don't think you've had a job since you joined SAG.
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
don't think so. And I've applied for things, and I've auditioned for stuff, and nope, I haven't done it. And the stuff I did before SAG that I would get called for to do, that I would get like some payment for, they're like, well, we don't do SAG, so sorry, you lose, which is really a bummer. So anyway, if you have been watching some of the strike coverage, you've seen occasionally where people will go down to a strike line, like say in front of 20th Century Fox or something, or Disney, and dress in their Star Wars costumes and things. I've received things in the mail that said, don't do that, but people are doing it anyway. So things have been really, to quote Bloom County, higgledy-piggledy. So they released this thing about how to deal with Halloween 2023 and still be strike friendly. And so they want you to choose costumes that are inspired by general characters, like you are a ghost or a zombie or a spider or a cat or a pumpkin or whatever. They want you to not post photos of costumes that are inspired by struck productions, which is kind of tough. And they say that you could dress up as characters from something that isn't a struck property, like animated TV shows or something like that, that can, still slide through that. This puts us in a huge bind because we've been doing community events as Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
I spoke to SAG directly, and I said, hey, guys, we're doing charity stuff. I do it as a Star Wars character. We're not promoting a particular series. We're not, in my case, as a SAG member, I'm not playing a particular character. We just did the library event where I was Obi-Shawn, the MC, dressed as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think I dressed as Obi-Wan for that. And but it was me. I wasn't like running around. I wasn't using an English accent. I wasn't doing whatever. So they said that was okay. This is really weird because we've got the big Anaheim Halloween parade coming up.
Yep.
And my car is a Star Wars car. There's no way I'm not driving my car.
Yep.
It's the only car I have, and unless they want to rent me something, I'm driving my Star Wars car. There's no way to avoid that. So it's going to be interesting to try to negotiate this. If you are a SAG member too, you can go to sagafterstrike.org, and they've got these suggestions. They just updated it 7 hours ago, and it's challenging, to say the least. So we'll have to see, because basically they're right in saying they don't want to promote any struck properties, and especially for a company that's sort of being a jerk, as like Disney is and things like that. You don't want to promote Star Wars and things like that, but doing stuff for the community is a completely different ball of wax, and so it's complicated, and it's driving me nuts. We were talking about it before the show started, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to avoid this because I've got commitments.
Yeah.
And there's actually a thing that says, when they started the strike, they're like, well, if you have commitments, you have to fulfill your commitments. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Because, we talked about the library thing for, a year in advance. We've been talking about this parade that we're doing forever.
Yep.
So
this is true.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's really weird. If you're a SAG-AFTRA member, I sympathize with you. Go check it out. Shoot me a note. Let me know what you think about this, because it's kind of nuts. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for supporting the strike and whatnot. And nobody's worked during the strike at all. But this is weird and strange. So
Yeah, the no Halloween costumes thing is weird.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's about it. We've got 3 minutes left. This weekend. This weekend's not the parade. What is this weekend?
I have a car show Saturday morning.
Car show.
Yes.
He has a secret car show that he
secret
wasn't
car
going to tell his wife about
Dun,
until she
dun,
heard
dun.
it on the radio.
I just haven't put it on the calendar yet.
Oh boy.
Like I said.
So
But that's okay because I'm going out with a friend all day. So.
right.
Well,
and then we have a tiki thing that
Yeah.
night, which is on the calendar.
Yeah.
Wait, we have a tiki thing? I thought that was just you.
No, I have to explain. It is just me. It's
Oh.
we, like John Paulson and me and Rob Nelson. And
Okay.
It is the Brew Buddies group.
Yeah.
Guys. So.
That is an I have a tiki thing,
Yeah.
not a we have a tiki thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm out all day Sunday. I'm going to go over to somebody's house and sew. And since that person is a member of CGW, we're going to be doing the annual meeting while I'm there, which is online.
Okay.
What are you up to, Jeff?
I have an Alzheimer's walk on Saturday,
Glad you completed that sentence.
which is in Irvine, and then possibly there's a event up at the Downey Space Center thing that they're doing,
Right, the
Halloween,
Columbia
yeah.
Memorial Space
Yeah.
Center.
that I may be doing with the Ghostbusters. Depends on what happens, I guess. But yeah.
Cool.
So that's all I've got, I think, for the weekend.
All right.
Cool. Well, we will keep all you guys posted and let you know what exciting stuff is coming up. And I hope you guys have a good weekend too.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the Nightmare Before Christmas thing, so apologies for that. But basically, Henry Selig has an idea for a sequel,
Yeah.
or a prequel rather. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. You have been listening to us on sci-fi.radio. If you're over there doing the radio thing, you have been watching us on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube or whatever, where you are able to subscribe or like or let us know that you were there, because we're always grateful when you do that. Big, huge thanks to Kit Boba-Kit Sovine, who does our social media and keeps Docking Bay 94, the Facebook page, populated with all sorts of great stuff. And we'll see you next week.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
This is just a little Donoho.
I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby. As always,
May
the
the
Force
Force
be
be
with
with
you.
you.
We'll give you video guys some credits here. And then you guys on the radio. I'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time, for Good Morning Tatooine. Go ahead and tune in then, and we'll wrap out the week in style and do some fun stuff. See you then.
Good night, radio folks and video folks.
And to all y'all over on the video side of things, be good people, huh? We'll see you later on.